In today's world, customer loyalty has shifted dramatically. Gone are the days when a friendly smile and a firm handshake were enough to win a customer's heart. Now we're faced with the challenge of providing exceptional customer service through screens and across time zones. But here's the $1 million question. How do we translate the warmth, efficiency, and problem-solving prowess of a great in-person customer service to the online realm? That's exactly what we're diving into today. In this episode, we're welcoming back into the studio Veronica Cornish of VC Creative, and she is, like I like to call her, the 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 queen of websites and the queen of e-commerce. And she has actually helped take our business to the next level because she has helped implement so many of these strategies into our business. And we're going to talk today all about how we are able to translate great customer service to our online website. So welcome, Veronica.
Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
I am doing awesome. And I can't wait to dive into this topic because even though something is online,
Yeah,
people still want to have that feeling of I matter, right? I
right.
matter to this business. I'm important to this business and they're just talking to me kind of
Yeah,
thing. So, how do we do that? How do we use our website to build or start building those relationships, that know, like, and trust factor with our customers?
right. Okay. So one of like the little things that people can do, which is very simple, is to do the chat little box that you can put on your website, and you can train that chat to respond certain amount of questions. Now, if you're lucky and you can have somebody that is managing your website, that chat can become a live thing because you can start replying in real life, and that's very valuable when
Mhm.
somebody wants to purchase something. They might want to do it right away, but they're like doubting on something. Sometimes they send emails. I'm not
Oh,
sure if you've
right.
seen, like, yeah,
Yes.
Shopify emails where a customer has a question about something. Is
Mhm.
this size extra large or large? Because the picture says L, but the description says XL. So do you see, like,
How
it
many
was like
times has that happened,
it was
right?
a mistake, right? So like the person who was entering the item made a mistake, and then they want to verify it so that they can complete the purchase. So you see how like a little mistake from the beginning creates like a whole situation where, and then if you don't answer that, then boom, you missed on that sale.
Right.
So if you have somebody who can, that'll be like an ideal situation, monitor those messages, and
Right.
that is great because it's like eliminating a bunch of like questions that can be answered, and then they translate on a sale. Another way to be very intimate with the customer is that, and then this you can like actually implement in an automated way. When you're building your website, and in the product section, you can add a section called related items, so that
Sure.
when people are shopping to, they're clicking, let's say they're clicking on skirts that have flowers on it, and that's kind of like the pattern, because she's maybe looking something
Mhm.
floral for a festival. Then that automation is going to show her underneath, this may be, you may like this, or you can call it whatever, you may like this, and then it suggests all of those little recommendations.
I think we've all been there where we've seen that, and
Yeah,
it gets us into trouble because we go down a rabbit hole. We're like,
yeah.
"Oh, I like
I
this."
like that too. I like that suggestion. And it can get really smart, because if you have it by default at the beginning,
Mhm.
it's just gathering data from the behavior of everybody. But
Right.
then if you train it, it can be very specific to that specific person and the patterns of that specific person, and the browser of that specific person, that is going to start collecting data from like past visits, all of this stuff, and
Right.
it becomes super personalized. So that's like another great thing. Another way to have like great customer service and trust is being very clear with your policies, very clear where are you adding those.
Right.
Like, I know, like, you love to have on the product picture, on the products, a little disclaimer saying, if you're going to return, this is how you do it.
Right.
or this is not valid for returns, or all that specificness of it is very it helps the customer makes an informed decision, and that coming
Good.
later and saying, I didn't know that you didn't do returns,
And you can
you
see
know
it. You're
and
like,
you
it's
can
right here.
yeah, but so
And
so that it's important to be very transparent with those policies so that you don't get as much as those questions, even though people sometimes don't read, or
right,
they're scrolling quickly, but you're like being transparent and showing that up there.
right.
you know
Exactly.
the inbox communication on Shopify too, that's like another thing that you have, which is within the chat box, is that you can, as a store owner, if you download the app, you can have in real time
Mhm.
people with those messages, and then you can in real time also reply. Another way of having and building relationships is rewarding them for shopping with you, which I
Yes.
know you have too,
We
is
do as
like
well, yes.
a
Very
loyalty rewards, and then they can collect points, and then they can spend them later.
Now that you're
So
mentioning that, I have a thought. How important is it that you have what how do I wanna say this? How you take what happens in the store and you mimic it on the website. So, I'm gonna go back to the points, okay?
okay,
So, let's say you have a reward system in the store,
right,
okay?
right,
I'm assuming it's very important that you mimic the same
yes,
reward policy on your website, so
right,
they're both cohesive so that the
yes.
customer's not confused, because when they're confused, then they're done.
And then also if you have rewards in one and not in the other one, then they will feel left out from whatever
Mhm.
situation. So if I'm shopping
Exactly.
in your store but I can't have rewards here, then
Right.
why come here if I can have rewards in your online store? So it's
Right.
very important to be cohesive with both. Now sometimes it's really hard to mimic the same exact
Which
loyalty
we
reward
found.
program, right? But you can get it as close as possible, and then maybe the perks of one and the other, to kind of like maybe bring it
Right.
to the different, if you want to bring it to the store this week because you're having a sale, then you
Mhm.
can tailor that reward. I don't know, like, but they should be cohesive overall.
Right.
Email marketing is still a great asset, a great way of keeping in contact with your customers. It's something that, yeah, I might get also the text message right away, but sometimes I like going to my email
Right. Mhm.
and looking at what they're sending me. And I love, if I am a mom, going to different like emails from kids and seeing what I like there. So it's also, I mean, email marketing is not going anywhere, and it's like
And
the most basic
a lot
for
of people kind of fell away from that for quite a few years in here where they're like, people aren't, and now it's
It's
really made a
it's coming
resurgence.
back. Yes. And
Yes.
then the fact that now these email marketing companies are, because like before it was more like a very informative thing, but now it's very tailored to your products. So you can
Right.
insert your products in there, and then you can also, with email marketing, do segments of whoever likes this, my
Mm.
VIPs or my birthday emails, like, so every
Right.
month you send birthday emails to your July contacts. So
Right.
that's another way of keeping like really personal and having
Right.
great
Going back
relationships
to
with
the
them.
email thing, I mean, and I feel I know maybe why, because everybody thought, well, social media, everybody's on Facebook and they're on Instagram and they're on TikTok. But people quickly found out once Facebook or whatever platform it is started blocking accounts, deleting accounts, suspending accounts. Oh my gosh, I have no way to connect with my customers. And if you have that email list,
It's a very intimate way of
right, it's not as
connecting.
big of a deal. I mean,
No.
it's a big deal, but it's not as, at least you have a way to contact your customers,
Yeah,
with them.
that's why I always say don't put your eggs on the same basket, because
Yeah.
people love to, they hopped on Facebook and they put
Mhm.
all their energy there.
Yeah.
And turns out that they can ban you, they can take your account, they
Yeah.
can restrict you, they can do whatever they want. Whereas you have the control of your list because it's yours. It belongs to you.
Exactly.
You got it. You earned it. You
Mhm.
earned that trust,
That's true.
and then that's why they gave you your email.
Right.
So that's
Mhm.
also very a great way. Another great way to keep your customers happy is, hey, give me your feedback.
Yes. Surveys.
Maybe
right?
you're right. Or how do we do today? If you have somebody in your store, how do we do today? Do you mind leaving us a review? Because
Uh,
that went really well.
you're
So that's
so
another.
right about that.
Yeah. So that's another great way to keeping that like connection with them. And of course, always incentivizing with a little special here, a little VIP here, a promotion, something that grabs their hook, because we all love to have a perk.
We
We
do,
all.
and you know what? On that note, do you think it's always important, again, going back to making sure that it's cohesive between store and online.
Mhm, mhm.
So let's say you're running a sale in the store. Do you always think it's appropriate to run that same exact sale on your website?
Not
Or
always. Not
okay,
always. I think like sales can vary, and I think like you like, for example, I love to shop online,
mhm,
and but if I want an immediate thing, I want to go to the store. And if I go to that store and they're having a sale that is not online, cool. Am I lucky today? Yes.
right,
So it doesn't mean that you always have to be like a mirror between one and
I
another.
see.
So like I think for sales, it can work if you guys have your own little thing in store, because that also brings in traffic. If you're feeling like you're low in traffic, foot traffic, then let's do something for store,
Mhm,
right? So I think, but for loyalty, like I think it should like be very kind of like similar, so that they're both very like engaged to both.
right,
Um, blogging. Blogging is another way of having an intimate, more relationship with your customers. You may want to give them ideas about how to dress for Valentine's.
mhm,
So they're feeling, oh, if I come here, I'm gonna feel inspired. And not only they're giving me ideas, but they're showing me the product that I can shop. And then if I shop it today, it's gonna be here in 4 days because I just checked their policy, which I
right,
saw there, and
mhm,
it's gonna be in time for my Valentine's dinner. You know what I
right,
mean? So you're being transparent because you're showing your policy. They're trusting you because they know that the shipping is gonna be accurate.
right,
You're inspiring them to dress certain way, and then boom, you're offering the product
yeah,
because it's right there.
right. I
So
just think, like, there's so many ideas, there's so many ways that this can actually work for businesses
yeah,
that people may not even think about.
yeah,
And then
and
they're
you're
like, "Oh
really
my gosh, how do I do all of this?" They hire someone like you to actually do it because, again, we can't be good at everything.
right. And then you know what? Like for example, Pinterest is a great
Mhm.
way of inspiring people on how
Oh,
to
yeah.
do something, how to dress.
Mhm.
And then if you have the link to the product, boom. And Pinterest is creating SEO,
Right.
for your website. So it's a great art marketing asset too. So I mean,
Very
there's
much.
like a lot of little things that you can do with many platforms all coming into your website that are going to create that relationship with your customer.
So, as a follow-up to all of this, so we create all of these channels to create great customer service.
Yeah.
How are we able to effectively measure what's working,
Analytics.
what's not working, what
Yes.
we can
So
stop paying for?
yes. So okay, so Shopify has inbuilt analytics that if you know how to use, they're very powerful. And if you connect also your website to Google Analytics, they will go in way more depth.
Okay.
So like you can grab that information and, reshape what's not working. Am I getting traffic from Pinterest? Yes. No. Then let's not put that much energy on Pinterest. Yes, it's bringing a lot of traffic from Pinterest. Let's put energy on Pinterest. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like knowing how to read these analytics. And then also, I know Shopify came out not too long ago with a more robust analytics and reports. So now
Okay.
you can do reports of all sorts. And on top of it, I know we're talking about connecting another app that may cost, but if you really want to be aggressive, there's AI apps that connect to those analytics, and then they give you all kinds of like, data. So I
Wow.
think data is important.
Data
Data
is
is
important.
important. It shouldn't be overlooked. You should be able to go monthly, look at your number of sales, your number of your traffic, your orders, look at your Google My Business profile. How many visitors am I getting? How many calls? How many directions?
Mhm.
Are you optimizing your Google My Business profile? Do you know that before it was super hard to add the icons for social media, and now it's easier? Go to your Google My Business, make sure that your social media profiles are underneath.
And if
It's
you're like, "What is Google My Business?" Then you need to talk to someone.
yeah, it was going yeah. Exactly. But yes, I mean, I know it's a lot and it can be overwhelming, but start with something.
Right,
Baby
exactly. Start
steps.
somewhere.
Do it. Start with something.
Yes.
And then read a lot of, like, Shopify has great blogs for information.
Okay.
I read a lot all the time, all of this stuff. It's not that I know these because I went to school and they taught me this. No, this is new. This
Right.
it
You're
comes out
learning.
every day.
Yeah.
I am designing on Shopify today, and I come tomorrow, the things are in a different place. I don't know where these disappear. These became content. These not, so it's just like
Right.
you have to keep up with it. And if
Always
you
learning.
don't, then you're left behind.
Right. Always be learning. That's a saying that I
Yes.
have, and it doesn't matter what genre you work in, for sure.
Yeah, and the good part is, like, you can learn. If you're passionate, the content is there for you to learn. It's
Right.
just you need the time to sit down, read, process, and then go and try and replicate. Do it
Right.
and see
Aw
how it goes.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, you have shared so much awesome information again. If
Thank
our
you.
listeners wanna get in touch with you or maybe wanna work with you, how can they reach out to you, Veronica?
They can reach out to my website. It's good, vccreativestudio.com. They can email me at vc@vccreativestudio.com, or they can call me 404-539-5123. They can even ask you for the information, and I'm on all social media, Facebook, Instagram. So, there's a way to reach out to me.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Veronica, for being on today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and thank you to my fabulous listeners. Have a fabulous day.